guys, good morning. Look who has joined us this morning in our Hangout on Air and also on YouTube. We have the very talented Broadway TV film actor Joe Morton from the very popular show, hit show Scandal, which is premiering tonight. Third season is coming up this evening. So we're going to talk to him about the cliffhanger that happened, I guess, at the end of last season. But quickly, I want to introduce everybody in the Hangout. We've got Stormy, who is in Mississippi. Nick is in Dallas, Texas this morning. Matt is in Anaheim.
Hey.
John is in Riverside. Jimmy is actually here as well in Koreatown. Hector is in Riverside as well. And we do have a bunch of people watching us on YouTube, so I want to say hello to you guys. Happy Thursday, and make sure you thumbs up, like us, and please share the link to everyone, especially after it's posted. And if you have a question, just tag me or anyone in the Hangout. We'll get them to Joe. So Joe, actually, kudos to Kerry Washington and the whole cast of the show Scandal. I think we've just about spoken to everybody from that show, except for you and Kerry, and the way that you guys have embraced social media and have embraced technology on that show. I don't know if you take part in the live tweets.
I will tonight, yes, absolutely.
You will tonight?
Yes, I will, absolutely.
Excellent, because that's been really, really huge. So really quickly, tell us about your role on Scandal and how Rowan has basically gave us this cliffhanger at the end of last season. Right?
Well, he started off as just sort of being this very mysterious character running around and sort of telling Jake what to do or not to do, having to do with the president and Olivia Pope. And then, of course, at the end of that, it's season 2, turns out that Rowan is not only this mysterious character, but Olivia's dad.
Her father.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. How awesome, how exciting with the premiere tonight. Jimmy, if you guys have a question, by the way, you watch it, right, Jimmy?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
First of all, I think you are awesome. And I have 2 questions. One question is, how do you get? I know that your character hasn't really have a lot of lines, a lot of screen time yet. I know it's coming up this season. You're gonna have more screen time because you've been introduced as Olivia Pope's father. But how is it to get used to the Scandal pace that they call it, the fast, the rapid dialogue? That's one question. The other question is, how do you get an under 5 on that show? I am so down for it.
Well,
those are good questions.
I don't know how to answer your second question. I have no idea how you get an under 5. But the Scandal pace is actually not that difficult to sort of get under your belt. A lot of the actors are theater actors. And so they're kind of used to moving fairly quickly
rapid fire,
and taking monologues, and they know how to deal with monologues. So it's not as difficult as it might seem.
Because we've heard that it's almost twice as thick of a script, just because of the rapid fire.
Yeah, I think our pilot script, our opening script for the premiere was 75 pages long, which is for most. I mean, for most.
Bigger than a movie.
Yeah, most television series, you get that script and you kind of throw it out the window, saying it's way too long. But the way Shonda and the editing staff likes to work is as you know, there are 3 times the story gets told. Once is when the writer writes it, second time when the director directs it, and third time is when the editor edits it. So this third time, they have enough stories to sort of put together which story they want to tell, which is I think, a great way for television to move. It's like doing film.
Amazing. Matt, did you have a question as well, Matt?
I did. It's not about Scandal, though. Is that okay?
Of course.
Fine.
Okay, so I first really noticed you as a strong actor back in Smallville, about 2001, 2002. And then I checked out your IMDb, and I had realized that I had seen you throughout the years a million times before. I mean, from Sanford and Son, from The Equalizer. I mean, you have been in every show that I've ever loved. And then, of course, after that, I saw you in Eureka and things like that. I'm wondering, during any of these experiences, do you have a funny story that you can share with us?
Well, what comes to mind immediately is I did a film many years ago called Brother from Another Planet, a John Sayles film.
Big fan of the show.
And if you remember, there's a moment where the brother sees writing on the wall from other immigrants, if you will, from his planet. And he cuts his hand and he answers it. Well, the woman who designed that was the production designer. So she wrote out this entire kind of alphabet and signs. And I said, well, let me take it home and work on it so I can figure out what it says and what I want to answer. So she said, fine. So I took it home and I brought it back. And then the next day I went through this very elaborate kind of interpretation of what the words and all these symbols on this card meant and how it worked and blah, blah. And she said, oh, that's terrific. She said, but you're holding it upside down.
Oh my God. Oh, that is just awful for you that time. That's funny. Who did I miss? Who had another question? Stormy, yes, go ahead.
I was wondering what you most enjoyed about Scandal and about your character.
Well, in the beginning, the most enjoyable part of it was the fact that I knew where we were going. I knew that the reveal at the end of the second season would be that I was Olivia's dad. So that in itself, sort of harboring a secret for 6 episodes, was a lot of fun. Plus, when I first got to LA last year, I had heard of the show, had never seen the show, so I started watching the first season on Netflix and thought, wow, what a wonderful, terrific show. Wouldn't it be great if I could find a way to get onto the show?
Is that right?
2 weeks later, I got a call. So it was sort of happenstance.
Wow, can you go buy a lot of
Serendipity.
tickets or something? Because you make things happen. So you mentioned that it was a secret that you were not Olivia's father for the last season. Was it literally a secret to everyone in the cast?
I was the only one except for the writers and a couple of producers who knew.
Is that right?
Yes.
Was that a big challenge to keep that to yourself?
Well, no, because Rowan is someone who keeps secrets, so it helped me with my character.
Okay, that's interesting. Ooh, I love that it was a secret. Okay, anyone else have a question for Joe? No? Okay,
I have another one if it's possible.
Sure, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Time for one. Okay, go ahead.
The other actors of Eureka have expressed the issue with sci-fi no longer doing sci-fi shows. Are you amongst them? Or because I mean, Eureka was great. Warehouse 13 were great, and they're out the door.
Comcast has obviously made a decision to do what is less expensive for them and possibly harmful to the audience. I mean, I think that Eureka and Warehouse 13, but although, isn't Haven still on?
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah.
Right. So I think there are a couple of them are still on. I don't know if Alpha is still on either, but I think Sci-Fi is trying to figure out what its brand is. I think they're trying to figure out how to sort of move forward, and I know they're doing a lot of acquisitions in terms of films these days, and I think Comcast is figuring they'd rather have money coming in than money going out. Eureka, I'm not making excuses for Comcast. I'd rather have Eureka on the air, but Eureka was an expensive show to do.
Talking about these different shows, lastly, as an actor and as an artist, and we were talking about how the business model has changed when it comes to the business of entertainment. Now everything is streaming, it's online, and when you look for parts, does it matter to you, or do you look for these new roles that are out on, say, the Netflix model now that seems to be becoming more and more popular?
I don't know that I am at the moment in particular, but I do think, as you say, it will become more and more sort of the norm in terms of how things are being presented. Clearly, with all this new technology, entertainment in terms of broadcast will take on a whole new dynamic, and that we'll have more of this kind of thing online. Netflix and Amazon is now doing some stuff.
Amazon's original program.
So, and I'm sure Google will get into it after a while.
Yes.
So that you know, I think what's going to happen with film and television is the same thing that happened with the recording industry, in that people are going to start doing things in their home. They're going to start, independent film will become truly independent, I think.
Interesting. What's an interesting world we live in now. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us and hanging out with us, you guys. And Jimmy, I'm sorry I couldn't get an answer for your under 5. You just got to put yourself out there. Dude, you got to put yourself out there.
If I can help you, I would. I have no idea.
But yeah, as an actor in this town, you just got to always,
Yep, get your stuff out there.
Thank you so much, Joe. Let's take a quick photo before you go. Let me, I do have my camera up. Okay, here's the camera right up here.
Here we go.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese.